pass rush. He's got Eli Apple in the secondary. But you need that literally that guy, that anchor in that middle. Huge pickup in Spillman. What was the other one I was looking at? We talked about Houston getting his tight end. I thought, a lot of people criticize him thinking, okay, what do you need another tight end for? Because you always have 3 tight ends. Well, you know what? Let's be honest here. Everybody is guilty of this. You stick to your philosophy. A lot of us try to get a little too happy with other people.
Get cute with it.
Well, we try to do whatever everybody else does and try to, okay, you know what? I can't run. I'm going to try doing what he does to run. No. You stick to what you're good at and you add to it. And that's exactly what he did. Who's it? You got, there you go. CJ Gaddis in Arizona. The wide receiver. I mean, you lose Fitzgerald to retirement. J.J. Nelson goes off in free agency, and I pick him up. I mean, at a certain point, you need weapons. You lose David Johnson. You got to have somebody to give the damn ball to. You can't just have a quarterback running around like Michael Vick.
And you can't put Pat Pete out at wide receiver, so you got to do something.
Yeah, we could probably change a rule or two every once in a while, but yeah, I mean, it's like at a certain point, you got to get yourself some weapons. So I like those moves. I really did. I thought Detroit, for getting Auri Tauger, the other really good safety in this draft, the guy's a pick machine. I mean, Detroit, we've seen some of his defensive linemen make picks and go down and not get back up, but they have hands. That team he's got defensive linemen, he's got linebackers. Why not get a safety that's going to help you? I mean, his offense is already loaded. So, anything that you took away that you saw in this draft that really stood out for you?
I feel that there was less people reaching for players in this draft as opposed to the past. Given that it was very front-loaded with talent, not as deep in a lot of positions as it's been in the past. So I didn't see as many people reaching for like undrafted potential players like Reeser was year one for the Redskins. I felt like the board kind of fell more realistically along the lines of what you guys had mocked up. It wasn't as crazy and unpredictable as I first imagined. There were a lot of movement with the draft picks that you had mentioned. That was rather interesting to see how some of these teams' strategy and to rebuild their team changed overnight leading up to the draft. As you know what I mean? It just kind of seemed like certain teams had a plan, then they weren't able to make the draft. So, things change, ideas change, a lot of moving parts occurred. I don't recall in any other draft we've had where people have traded up or down as much as they did, other than just acquiring draft picks.
Well, was there anybody that actually you thought totally might have whiffed in that first round? Not to call anybody out or anything, but I mean, I'll be the first one to say I thought the Bills had probably the biggest reach in the first round. Now, mind you, it was the 31st pick in the draft, but take a look at the Bills team. Now, mind you, I just looked and I think he left the podcast channel, so this is just me kind of giving him a little shot just to see if he's actually listening still. But look at this linebacker and tell me what you think for a first-round pick. All right. I think he actually moved him to the defensive line.
Is it DJ Khaled?
Well, it was Joey Disser.
Is it a middle
And
linebacker?
I think he changed his name to Richie Wilds. I want to say it was Joey Desser. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's who it is. But it was kind of like the biggest reach, if you ask me right away. When you're looking at linebackers, I think he just didn't grade out well at all. I mean, there was a lot more talent on the board where he was picking, and
Mm-hmm.
I call me crazy, but when you're looking at his picks, I thought running back, when he took running back number 1, I thought he really didn't need to. I mean, he's the type of guy that develops anybody. So I thought he went a little bit too high for a running back.
Well, when I'm looking at Richie Wilds, I can see the speculation. But I mean, let's look at it like this way. He doesn't quite have the hit power that some other players that were available at this point in the draft. But he has an 84 speed and an 84 acceleration. His strength is lacking in comparison to some linebackers, but I would say on par for course for most outside linebackers. Decent agility. And this is the kicker. He has a 79 zone coverage. So I'm looking for Richie Wilds to really be able to help the secondary out. It seems to be more of a cover linebacker. With the right development and the block shedding up and, play recognition goes up a little bit, I could see him making some good moves for maybe more of like a nickel linebacker.
I wonder if it was the middle linebacker now that I'm looking at it. Look at the name, DJ Khaled. DJ Khaled or whatever you want to call him.
Yeah, DJ Khaled.
Yeah.
See,
He
another
actually looks like him too. That's pretty funny. Good for him.
that is fucking hilarious.
How big is he? He's got to be pretty fat. Oh no, he ain't in this. All right.
248. He should just make him large as fuck.
And then he has the Shimada brothers at running back. Look at that shit. Oh my god. He knew we were gonna fucking talk about it. That's why he left the podcast. Genji and Hanzo. What the fuck? That is just messed up. I don't care who you are. That's messed up.
Looks like Genji's gonna be fucking working it though, cause Genji has a 93 speed and a 93 acceleration, 85 juke, 83 spin.
Formerly known as Ellie Petway from Texas, yeah.
Ellie Petway. Fuck that. That's Genji Shimada, dog.
Genji Shimada. I will make sure you remember that shit. Oh man. But yeah, I personally would have, I was hoping that Ozzy would have got his mic. It would have been kind of cool to kind of rip into him a little bit. We had a little open competition on who was gonna pick the better mock draft. If you count the Bills picking my player that I had him actually taken in the second pick in the first round, and you actually give me that, I still would have beaten him even without that, picking the right guy just in the wrong draft position for the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
I would have beaten him by 1 pick in the first round.
Nice. Nice.
And it really wasn't that good. I think I had a total, if you count that, total of 6 picks right in the first round. And that's knowing 2 of them going into the draft.
Hey, it's more than I had right.
Yeah, probably not. I'm sure anybody that actually gave it a shot would have picked a lot better. So that's probably why I spent as much time as I did on some of them, because the ones I actually picked right, I'm giving Houston his credit because he picked the guy I told him to. Bulldogs the guy he was supposed to take, and the Bills a little bit, and the Arizona pick. So there you go. If I've covered them a little bit more than most, you understand why. Next year, if you want me to cover your guys, just pick the ones I tell you to take. That's all. I'll talk a little bit more about you.
Yeah, you gotta go with the right pick. He already told you what the right pick was. You go with it.
Exactly. Doesn't mean I'm going to do good with my pick, but everybody else should.
Exactly. You can lead a horse to water.
So what do you got? What do you think we should take away from week 1, the draft? What are some of your early season projections? If you were to say team wise, we don't have to go
Team
player wise.
wise,
Kind of early.
all right. Well, I'm gonna pull up these divisions real quick. As far as the AFC goes, if I was to pick 2 teams right now out of the AFC to hold it down and face off potentially in the AFC title game, I'd probably have to go. Man, the Bills are really nice, but I'd have to say that I see the Bengals and I want to say the Steelers, but they'd obviously play in the divisional round. So I see the Bengals and the Texans playing in the AFC Championship game this year.
Oh man. All right. Leave it
If
to
I had
me
to
to
make
go
a
with
bold,
the.
if I had to make a bold call,
We know what these teams are like. We know what most of these guys bring to the table. Um, I think at a certain point, sometimes the little revolving door catches up to you. And I think this year, this is going to be the year that it catches up with a couple of teams. Um, I think the Bengals will be great. I just don't think it'll be this year. I think there's a couple pieces that will develop really good, but I think he caught lightning in a bottle last year. And yes, he did get a big win against Buffalo right away, but I think Buffalo showed us last year it didn't matter how he started right away at all.
yeah,
Um,
I just see these 2 young linebackers probably rapidly excelling in this division and just becoming studs. Plus, with the weapons he has on offense and just being a good user, I know that there's stiff competition to be had in that division. But I mean, if you come out of that division and you aren't riddled with injuries from the war, you gotta like your odds in the playoffs.
this is true. Yeah, we know that that AFC North is going to rip each other apart. I mean, that's going to come down to that every year. Um, Steelers are loaded. That's going to be a real tough out. And at the end of the day, you look at it and you go, is it me or is it just this week 2 matchup? Just always seems like it's the real close to the AFC title game, kind of a lot of years.
Yeah.
I mean, one or the other, somebody's always there, and I just think the Steelers just are too loaded this year. I mean, even if he loses 2 guys on any position, except for corner, that's the one position that it shows a little chink in the chain is his corner position.
And
But
that's why I like the Bengals so much against the Steelers this season, is that chink in the armor.
yeah, I still don't understand the move that he moved one of his top corners to safety. I think it's a little early for that, even though I mean
Yeah.
he's a little bit older. But he'll regret that decision, and I don't think he's going to want to change it mid-season. So that's just my perspective. Call me crazy, but I just think the Browns, when you look at him on paper, he had a bad week 1. I get it. But when you have the 2-headed monster attack running, you got that defense that, you got the pass rush. You're going to have the shutdown corner. You're going to have the safeties. Call me crazy, but this is Browns. This is when do